What's up, PokeMoshPit? My name is DarthChocoboz, and today I'm bringing you guys a 5th gen standard battle versus Sam or Butler93Pokemad. This was for the PokeMoshPit tournament in Dublin, Ireland, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. We got through about 6 rounds of OU until we got to this final right here, and I decided, since it was the final of a PokeMoshPit event, I would give it into PokeMoshPit so that you guys can have a chance to have a look at the video, enjoy it, generally have a nice time. So, looking at his team, I'm thinking Rotom, Skarm, and T-Dar is the leadoffs. I decided to lead off with Scizor, as I can U-turn on T-Dar or Skarm, go to an appropriate check, and if he leads off with Rotom, then I'd have to switch out fearing Will-O-Wisp or Hidden Power Fire. I really should have just led off with my own Rotom. To Volt Switch and Hydro Pump, or Volt Switch out on anything and go into an appropriate check, especially if you want to lead off with something funky. And also, just before the battle starts, this was a live event, so we knew kind of some of each other's movesets. I know his Rotom had Will-O-Wisp 3 attacks, I knew his Scizor with Choice Bandit, I suspected his Terrakion to be Scarfed, and I knew his Latios with Specs with Dragon Pulse, Draco Meteor, Psychic, and Surf. So anyway, I decided to lead off with Scizor in the end, and he actually leads off with his Rotom. So I'm fearing Volt Switch, Hidden Power Fire, or Will-O-Wisp right now, so I decide to switch into my Gastrodon. My Earthquake is nerfed, however, now because of the Will-O-Wisp, but I don't expect to be needing Gastrodon too much on this match. For this Rotom is pretty much the only reason I have it, so I stay in and try to Ice Beam because I figured that he would switch out into his Latios, trying to avoid the or not his Latios, his God damn it, I can't remember. I was thinking he would want to switch fearing the Toxic into his one of his Pokemon. What the hell was it? Skarm. That's what I was predicting. I was predicting Skarm, but I actually mispredicted there, and he went for Hidden Power Grass, and that pretty much wrecked my Gastrodon. But if I lose Gastrodon, it's not too much of a big deal, since I only really, the only thing it really helps out against is this Rotom on his team, so that's not too much of a big deal if I lose it. And if you over predicted, and then Toxic would be really nice on that thing, and it would do a lot of damage to it, since once he sets up his Sand with T-Tar, his leftovers are going to be negated, and that Toxic is going to be an extra 6, then 12, then 18, then 24% every turn, and blah blah blah, etc etc. Decided to go into my Skarmory right here. I know if he goes for Volt Switch, I can take about 60 or 70% from it, and set up my Stealth Rock, as he does have these Scizor Rotom core, and they will be U-turning and Volt Switching on me a lot, so I know Stealth Rock is going to be very useful. However, his Volt Switch actually does exactly half, like dead on the money, so my Skarmory is actually a lot beastier than I thought it was, and brings in his Latios right here. I know he doesn't have T-Volt or Hidden Power Fire, and I heard him bitching earlier on that his Latios couldn't kill a Skarmory from half HP with Surf, and I know that I am absolutely max HP and special defense, so I decide to roost off, knowing I can probably take it. And right here, since he would have to keep stalling all day long for whatchamacallit, for crits, he decides to switch out, goes into his Rotom, and I decided to switch out and go into my own Rotom, since if he decides to switch out to something else, I'm probably going to be faster than it, be able to Volt Switch out on it, go into an appropriate check or counter, and he actually brings out his own Rotom, so I know I'm probably going to be faster, since I do run speed EVs, and I know he's max defense anyway, so I decided to go for Hydro Pump because I don't have anything on my team that really wants to take the Volt Switch, and I know that I'm going to Volt Switch first, so I don't want that to happen, so I decided to go for Hydro Pump. It's going to do about 25 or 30%, however, I do miss, so that sucks. Didn't really matter too much, but unfortunately it did miss, and I missed out on free damage basically. But brings in his T-Tar right here. I'm afraid of him going for Ice Beam or Fire Blast, predicting me to Volt Switch into my Breloom, since that is fairly obvious to me, since Breloom is a really nice check for T-Tar, so I was afraid of that. But turns out he goes for Superpower, which means he's probably a Pursuit Crunch Superpower, as that's a fairly common set with Stealth Rock and some sort of defense EVs. So right here I can Volt Switch out and go into my Breloom, knowing that he probably can't touch me. However, I hard switched like an idiot. Didn't matter that much though, so Breloom was able to come in right here. He just lays up the rocks, and now I decided to substitute, since this T-Tar isn't really too much of a threat to me, as Breloom pretty much was his set, I think, and I don't want him to go into his already poisoned Rotom, who is going to be able to avoid that spore really easily. So I decide to sub up, and he actually goes into the Rotom, and I know that he's sitting at near enough half HP, and even though I am a bulkier max HP, max defense Subseed Breloom set, Focus Punch is still a really powerful move, and I'm fairly confident of it killing from this range, so I decided to go for that. He actually Volt Switches out, which isn't actually going to break my substitute, because I'm guessing he rolled min damage or something like that. I'm not really sure, but he's going to Volt Switch, go out into his Skarmory. The Focus Punch is going to do about half, telling me it is a specially defensive Skarmory, and I really have no other reason to go for Focus Punch, because if he roosts, then I'm going to easily be able to kill it, since he will be the solitary Steel type. If he goes for Brave Bird, that's fine. I'm just going to lose my substitute, but I get to kill a free Skarmory. If he Whirlwinds, then because Whirlwind has -6 priority and Focus Punch only has -5, I'm going to be faster and able to take him out like I did. And if he went for Spikes, then Spikes is whatever. I didn't really think he would go for Spikes, though, because I do have a possible Rapid Spinner in my Starmie. So that was okay. Goes into his Scizor right here. I don't want to spore his Scizor, since it's a really easily countered by my Skarmory, and I can't lead cheat it because he's probably going to U-turn, and that would just be a waste of a turn. And likewise, I can't substitute because I'm going to be faster, so I decided to go for Focus Punch. It's going to wreck pretty much anything on his team. It's going to be a 2 KO on his Latios, so he just Bullet Punch though, which is fine. I did get a critical hit. Didn't really matter in the outcome of the match too much, since I did have Skarm, but all hacks matters really in the end. So brings out his Latios. I'm expecting a Psychic or a Dragon Pulse, not Draco Meteor, because it's a little too early to go for that, or not too early, but I can take advantage. I can take advantage of it way too easily. So he does go for Dragon Pulse, and finishes off my Rotom. He actually probably should have gone for Draco Meteor. It would have been able to do some nice damage to my team, but I know that my Scizor is easily going to be able to take a Specs Dragon Pulse from Latios, because it's resisted, and my Scizor does have some special defense EVs, so he's probably going to be afraid of the pursuit, and he wants to do some damage to my Scizor, maybe hope for a critical hit with the Dragon Pulse, and I am able to U-turn out on it and finish it off pretty easily. And his Latios was one of his main outlets to kill him off my Skarmory, and now that thing's gone, and Skarmory is going to do a much better job against his team right now. Actually goes into his Terrakion, who is apparently going to try and rape me with his name, but doesn't really matter. I know I can probably take anything from this thing, even if it is Choice Banded with Close Combat. Goes for Stone Edge, hoping for the critical hit. Doesn't get it, and I am able to roost it off. Even if he does get a critical hit at this point, I don't think it'll kill me, and he's probably going to miss along the way somewhere. So I think he's going to switch out and go into his Rotom to try and Volt Switch or burn me. Get some extra damage and try and rack up damage on my Skarmory. So I decided to go for Whirlwind, since that will get extra Stealth Rock damage on that thing. And if I hadn't missed the Hydro Pump with that Stealth Rock damage that he would take next time he comes in, he probably would have been dead. But I didn't get it, so it's not there. But brings out his T-Tar right here. Still afraid of a Stinky Fire Blast or something hanging around, so I decided to go for a layer of Spikes just to double check that he doesn't have it. He goes for the Rock Slide and it does pretty much nothing, so I know at this point that he's pretty much admitting that it's good game, because his Terrakion needs critical hits to kill me, and his Rotom is not going to get a safe switch because I'm not going to allow it, and his T-Tar can't do anything because it doesn't have Fire Blast, so I decided to go into Breloom right here. I can take the Dark move or Fighting move or whatever he wants to go for fairly well, because I resist pretty much all of them except for the Fighting move. But bring in Breloom, he actually brings in his Terrakion, so now I decided to spore his Terrakion because it's pretty much going to remove it from the game, and it was one of his best chances against my Skarmory, so I'm going to get that thing to sleep. And now the switch is fairly obvious, because if he stays in, I'm going to set up all over his team, and he's really not going to have any chance at all. And if he goes to his Rotom, he can try and Volt Switch to break my substitute, then go to T-Tar's fodder and bring in his Rotom again to try and revenge kill me with a Hydro Pump. So I went for Focus Punch, thinking that Rotom would come in, and it turns out it did. So I am able to finish it off with the Focus Punch, and it's going to be really nice. And now all he has left is the T-Tar and the Terrakion. The T-Tar is not going to be able to do much to me at all, and the video is being really slow for some reason. I don't know, maybe it's a gift from God, so I can explain my thought processes, but it can't do much to me, so I can just set up a substitute. Going to be able to take his Crunch, Pursuit, Stone Edge, like I've already mentioned so many times. Going to be able to finish him off with the Focus Punch. Not going to be too much of a problem. Fortunately, however, he is going to break my substitute on this turn, and that means that he's going to be left with his sleeping Terrakion. And thanks to the sleep turns resetting at 5th gen, there's no chance of him waking up, and I don't have a substitute up, so this is going to be an epic finish because it's going to be the end of the PokeMoshPit tournament, the first tournament in Ireland. I'm going to emerge the champion, the European champion of Pokemon in the YouTube community, I'm guessing. So, going to be able to finish it off with an unprotected focus punch. I think that's just the most epic way you could finish off a tournament like this. I was just the best. So, anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed this battle. I hope if you did enjoy the battle, that you would come and check out my channel. If you enjoyed my narration, and if you enjoyed the way maybe my opponent played or something, go and check out him. He's actually a really cool guy with really nice layouts and narrations, and pretty much everything about his stuff makes me want to giggle. Also subscribe to the PokeMoshPit, as this is the channel that's bringing you this. Definitely go and check out the other PokeMoshPit channels to go and see new talent that's coming through in the community, and leave a like, leave a comment, something to say, and I hope you guys all have a really nice day.